Microbiota are everywhere on our skin and in the gut, and they really contribute to the way we think, they contribute to the way we behave, to our cognitive behaviors. We know that actually the microbiota in terms of numbers and genes is much larger than our own genes. So, and we also know that they play an important role when it comes to animal behavior. They change our body odors, they change our behavior, and that makes them actually very interesting to study. The research question was, to what extent does the social environment play a role in gut microbiota or in the composition of the gut microbiome? And to what extent is the host genetics influencing the gut microbiome? We worked on zebra finches and Bengalese finches, and the nice thing about birds is that you can manipulate the birth environment. So what we did is we actually swapped single eggs into another nest, and we waited until these chicks hatched.
And then we start collecting fecal samples from chicks and adults to see in which developmental stages they will resemble their foster families and their genetic families.
In one experiment, we fostered them into the nest of the different species. So we used zebra finch eggs and put them into Bengalese finch nests. And then we checked the development and the composition of the gut microbiota. And during early development, so 5 and 10 days after hatching, the gut microbiota are very similar to their foster parents. So there is clearly a social component. But after 35 days, so after nutritional independence, the gut microbiota actually becomes more similar to the zebrafinch parents. And that shows that in the early development, social environment is really an important factor. But later in life, the host genetics is actually more important. In this study, we examined or we investigated individualization in changing environments, because we also changed the environment. And this is part of a bigger picture between Münster and Bielefeld, where a lot of collaborations take part and where we study individualization in changing environments. On the one hand, due to collaborative research centers, but also in a joint institute of individualization in a changing environment.
So when we are studying individuality of behavior, for example, we should always keep microbiome in our minds.